Good morning and welcome back to Revealing the Hidden, where we take a deeper look into Jewish living. A very popular topic that people people are asking about and looking into, even in the secular world and the non-Jewish world, is something called manifesting, or the law of attraction, or a movement that had come out years ago, I think in the 90s, called The Secret. And there's a lot of people who are supposedly gurus in this and talking about it and watching and seeing how the world can be moved through the mind, and in particular through the power of ratzon, of desire, of will, and really, really focusing on it. So I want to take a look into the Jewish perspectives on this. I think that it's something that is amazing, actually, inspiring, beautiful, and I've delved into it and have been fascinated with what I've learned. There's a lot of different ways that you could start if you want to learn about this. I highly recommend starting with Rabbi Yaakov Cohen. He has a podcast on this. He also has a book on Jewish manifesting. So we're going to start with the story of his, and I'll roll out from there. Rabbi Cohen describes in his book that his father had been very sick and been diagnosed with a very serious illness, and he and his wife decided that they were going to move to LA to take care of him that year. The doctors had given him between 2 and 20 weeks to live. It might have been 2 weeks and 2 months. I don't remember the exact, but it was very short. It was not a lot of time. And his father was very, very determined. I said, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get better. I'm going to trust Hashem, and He's going to heal me. And, I'm not telling this story from a practically what to do type of standpoint. Obviously we believe in doctors. They're upho, you're uphe. It's a command from the Torah that you should lean into doctors. Obviously we know that Hashem is who heals all. But he took it upon himself with a very, very deep confidence that he's going to lean into Hashem and watch Hashem and use his focus to heal himself. And the story goes that a year later, already you see the miracle there. He went to the doctors, and when they did a scan, they found nothing. And Rabbi Cohen describes how his father was a very, very big influence on him, especially in this world, in this realm of manifesting, of this idea of the power of the mind and bria, of creation. So let's look at a little bit over here. Let's start. Now that we've been inspired and see, wow, there's power here. And by the way, it's not the only story. I know other stories of tzaddikim who have been approached and asked about. I actually know of personal stories in family. I'm just not sure if I'm supposed to share specifics of who it was, so I won't. But I know of stories of family members who had a very severe cancer or things of that nature, and had gone to a tzaddik, and the particular tzaddik said, "Don't talk about it," and it's not. You're going to be better, and when they went back for testing, a while later, there was nothing left. And there is such a concept of tzaddik goes or Hashem Mekayim, and tzaddik can command and Hashem upholds. But I want to really focus in on this other notion of the power of the mind and leaning into Hashem and trusting Him, and using the power of, as they say, tracht gut, that's sein gut, thinking good and it'll be good, and seeing how that works. So first, before anything else, there's a pasuk we say every day, and if we don't mention this, then we're missing something, obviously. In Ashrei, we say, Poseach es yadecha, God, you open up your hand, umaspia, and you fulfill, l'chol chai, every living being's ratzon, every living being's desire. And while there's ways to kind of read out this pasuk a little bit differently, touch it up, try to darshan it up, it's on a very simple level, it's straight up, your desire is what Hashem fulfills. And it doesn't say it as for some, it says l'chol chai, every living being. There's another line as well, you should know that people quote a lot, Ein davar ha'omed bifnei haratzon, that nothing stands in front of ratzon, in front of desire. It's something that's spoken about in the Maharal. It's spoken about in a lot of Mefarshim. But the actual phrase itself, it's hard to track down where it is. It happens to be in the Zohar. Bli neder, in our next class on this, I will bring the precise quote, but it's just the Aramaic version of how nothing stands before desire. That there's something about the idea of will that is very, very powerful and potent, that can move the world, that can move you, that can change things. Nothing can stand in front of it. It's so high, in fact, that when it comes to the body, so the body represents physically what we have spiritually inside. And there's a very deep idea that's discussed about what it is about the face that we can learn. For more on this, you can actually, one of the people who opens up this idea beautifully is Rabbi Akiva Tatz, who happens to have beautiful explanations in his shiurim on this, if you want to delve a little bit deeper. But essentially, there's a notion that if you look at the body, the higher you go on the face, the higher you go in the body, the higher spiritually that part of the body lives. It means something more holy. So, for example, the eyes are higher than the ears. The ears have like a receptacle of being able to take from the outside into the soul. And what we do is we take the world and we process it. We hear things and we let those things sink in, and we process them and think about them, and then we extract an idea. The eyes are higher than the ears. And in fact, by receiving the Torah, so we stand by Har Sinai, and the pasuk says that Bnei Israel were roim es hakolos. They saw the sounds. There was a elevation that happened there, that somehow the sound that usually is processed just through the ears, by Har Sinai, was processed through something that was higher on the body, which was the eyes. The eyes are more elevated than the ears. When you think about what that means, when you open up your eyes, we spoke about this a lot in other shiurim, so I'm not going to go too far, and you get these millions of photons, these packets of light that hit the back of your retina, and immediately you get incredible amounts of data. With the ears, you can only take a little bit at a time. You have to extract slowly, one word, 2 words, 3 words, a sentence to paragraph to a page, to an essay. Versus the eyes, it comes immediately, and you could see colors, you could see emotions, you could read people's faces, and you get so much. So Bnei Israel got to see the sounds. There was a revelation at Har Sinai where the Torah was delivered in a way that was so unified, so direct, that it wasn't in pieces. It was straight. It was complete. It was whole. And then higher than the eyes is the brain. The brain is the seat of the neshama, right? It's where it lives, the kodesh kadoshim of the body. And we think that this is the highest, right? But actually, there's something a little bit higher than that even. And that is the top of your head. So, what's the top of your head? What does it mean? So the top of your head determines one thing and one thing only, and that's direction. It's blank. It's an empty slate. It doesn't have processing power. It just is direction. You could be walking 1 mile in one direction, but you turn your head somewhere else and you're completely in the other place. The direction, the place that we're pointed to, is where it is that we want to go. It's what we want. It's where we're focused. It's where our being follows, our mind follows, right? And it directs us. So what do we do over there? We take something. We take the holy tefillin and we place them right on there. And what do they say? Shema Yisrael. Hashem is one. There is nothing but God. And our complete and total, utter focus, direction, and passion, and where we're going is to Hashem, no matter where we go. It's an incredible idea that our ratzon, our desire, our direction, we're always elevating to God. Especially if you think about the Gemara that says that Hashem's tefillin say, Mika Amacha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz, who is like the Jewish people. So now you have Hashem's direction, his focus, so to speak, his ratzon is with us, and our ratzon is with him. It's like, wow, it's so passionate when you think about it. In terms of what that means here for ratzon, for desire, we should know that the highest point in our being is not our mind, it's not our thinking, it's our deep us inside. Follow? It's the way that we're going, the direction, the ratzon, is where everything else follows. I want to think about the Torah, so then I think about the Torah, but I have to want it first. I want to think about, I don't know, making dinner, so then I direct towards dinner. The idea is that ratzon is the power that directs, that guides things. Good. So we started with a pasuk of Poseach Hasiyadecha, of Hashem opening up His hand and fulfilling the desires of fulfilling all of our desires. And we heard the story of Rabbi Cohen, and we heard about the notion here about the different parts of our body, and the highest one is the one that's going to direct everything. I'll give you one more piece to chew on, and we will delve into it more tomorrow. There's a Gemara in Makos that you should look up, Daf Yud, and the Gemara says that whatever derech she'adam rotzei leilech, that any path that a person wants to go, molichin oso, he's guided. They guide him there. And it's a piece directly from the Talmud. So now we have a pasuk and we have a piece from the Talmud that are telling us that there's something about the power of where it is that you want to go, your desire, that's going to bring spiritual energy, force to get you there. And the Marsha comments on this and tries to explain how. Come back tomorrow so you can listen to the amazing insight from the Marsha on this. I hope that this has opened you up a little bit to the idea that there really is a notion of the power of law of attraction, but it's a Torah one, and it's going to be like where where MS really lies, where everything emanates from is only from our Torah, and we can see more about how this works and how we can bring it into our life. Have a tracht, good tzitzayin, good day. Keep your mind on goodness, on happiness, on abundance, and know that Hashem is watching and Hashem is bringing blessing to your life.